They thought they broke him. They were wrong. This is the story of a boy who turned fists into fuel, mockery into monuments, and despair into destiny. But to understand how he reshaped the world, you must first witness how the world tried to erase him. What if the universe itself conspired to crush a dream? What if the dream refused to die? Some people are born into comfort, into support, into a world that welcomes their ambitions. But others are born into fire, into a reality that claws at their every hope, that mocks their every attempt to rise. And in that fire, they are forged into something unstoppable. This is the story of a boy who should have been defeated, buried, forgotten. But instead, he became a force the world could no longer ignore. A storm rages over Pretoria, South Africa, 1983. Lightning fractures the sky, illuminating a bloodied 12-year-old boy crumpled in a rain-soaked alley. His left eye swells shut. His right hand clutches a waterlogged paperback. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Bully's laughter echoes as one kicks his ribs. The camera zooms into his unblinking eye, reflecting not pain, but galaxies. Limps home past apartheid-era barbed wire. A flickering TV shop window stops him. Star Trek plays. Captain Kirk's voice. To boldly go. The screen shatters into a kaleidoscope of rockets, electric cars, and Martian dunes. Home was a war zone. Poverty was his shadow. His father, cold and unrelenting, dismissed his ideas as fantasies. His mother, kind but overwhelmed, encouraged him in whispers when no one else would. While others slept, he coded on a salvaged computer, its screen flickering like a dying star. Classmates beat him for his stutter, his books, his crazy dreams of electric cities. They called him Space Rat. But in the margins of his textbooks, equations bloomed. Secret blueprints for a revolution. A school science fair, 1987. He unveils a solar-powered battery. A judge sneers, Africa doesn't need toys. A rival student accidentally spills acid on it. The boy stares at the smoking wreck, fists clenched. His teacher shakes his head. Be realistic, Elon. Failure was his first language, but he was fluent in silence. And silence is a bomb waiting to detonate. The world would beg for his toys one day. Silicon Valley, 1999. The boy, now 28, sleeps under his desk in a bankrupt office. Rejection letters wallpaper the room. No one wants electric cars. Rockets? Are you high? A framed photo of his toddler son faces down. The phone rings. His wife. Choose your fantasies or your family. He lets it go to voicemail. The cost of obsession? Everything. His wife left. His friends called him a cult leader. Investors spat coffee laughing at his Mars colonies. Yet, he sold his wedding ring to fund a prototype. One night, as rats gnawed his last power cable, he whispered to the dark, I'll make you see. They thought he'd crack. They didn't know. He'd been cracking his whole life. And cracks let in the light. A shadowy investor meeting. A long polished table. Men in suits leaning back smirking. A pitch deck is tossed across the surface. You'll die a joke. One of them scoffs. The boy, now a man, doesn't flinch. He picks up the deck, places it neatly in front of him, and locks eyes with his doubters. His voice is calm, controlled. I don't need your money, he says. I need you to remember this moment when I'm right. The room falls silent. Some shake their heads. Some chuckle under their breath. But one or two hesitate. Doubt creeps into their certainty. He sees it, and he knows. This is the seed of something greater. December 24th, 2008. A freezing garage. The boy, now 37, shivers under a foil blanket, watching his third rocket explode on a grainy live stream. A reporter cackles. Musk's Mars dream goes up in smoke, literally. His phone buzzes. A voicemail. We're taking the kids. He hurls it against the wall, screaming into the void. This was the edge. Not of failure, of humanity. No money, no family. Just the ghost of a bloodied boy whispering, was it worth it? He opened a drawer. A pistol glinted, but then his eye caught the old paperback, its spine cracked, pages stained with blood. A highlighted line glared. Don't panic. What saves a man? Not hope, not prayer. The sheer screaming rage to prove them wrong. The boy had one question left. What if I win? Not for fame, for every punch he'd swallowed, every no he'd weaponized, for the child who still believed in heroes. And so, he bet his last dollar, his last breath, on a single truth. The impossible is a lie told by small minds. Cape Canaveral, 2015. A crowd of thousands gasps as a rocket descends, flames roaring. It lands perfectly. Silence, then Cheers. Shake the earth. The camera races into the control room, zooming into a man's face, stubbled, exhausted, eerily calm. The screen freezes. The space rat, the billionaire madman, the boy who refused to surrender, was Elon Musk. The only wrong answer is quitting. History remembers the madmen, the rebels, the ones who refuse to bow. Be one of them, because the only battle you truly lose is the one you choose to quit. And when the dust settles, when the dreamers have reshaped reality itself, the only ones left behind are those who never dared to begin. You don't need permission to dream. You don't need approval to chase the impossible. The world belongs to those who refuse to accept it as it is. Dare, build, persist. And one day, they won't ask why you tried. They'll ask how you did. Tours of 2023. A Mars rover sends back an image, a flag planted in red dust. The camera zooms in, a single word etched on the metal pole. Don't panic. The boy is no longer a boy. He is legend, and legends don't rest.